It says mute my audio.
Okay, you guys got it. Okay, just so I kind of know where to start, Nick, have you, okay, let me move some stuff out of the way. I can't tell what you guys see. So right now you guys see lesson 1.1, game design, this part. Okay, so unmute real fast so that we'll know where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, did everyone get their workspace downloaded and you know where the workspace is?
Yes.
Oh wait. Well, my computer wasn't working, so I had to technically do it on my mom's computer.
Okay. So you're on your computer right now, Sue?
I'm on my mom's computer because my computer isn't working. The battery's down.
Oh shoot. Are you going to do the coding on your computer or your mom's?
My mom's.
Okay. So on your computer, is it a Windows or a Mac?
The Windows.
Okay, so you have a Windows. Okay, so were you able to get the game design downloaded then? I'm going to move.
Which lesson was it?
1.2.
Okay. I'll download it right now.
Okay, yeah, so go to 1.2, and this, once you kind of understand, this is what I want to go over, where the workspace is located, how everything gets linked together, and then we'll build a little Pong game.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, my name actually isn't Sue. That's my mom's name.
Okay.
I'm actually a boy, so.
Have you ever heard of the song called Boy Named Sue? It's an old Johnny Cash song. Anyway, what's your name then?
Christian.
Christian. Okay, I'll remember that. That's funny. Yeah, there's a song called Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash. If you ever get bored, go look at it. It's pretty funny. Okay, so.
Wait, where do I download the thing?
Okay, so go to 1.2, Nick. Have you done this part yet?
Which part? Oh, wait, hang on.
Downloading the workspace.
No.
Okay, let's go back to 1.1. Okay, if you guys both need to download, let's start at 1.1. I'm just going to assume this is your first time in here, and that's kind of how I'll conduct this little session. And then we'll answer any questions, make sure you guys have everything you want to know answered. Okay, so
wow, I just realized how short this is
compared to what?
Just compared to the platform and fish game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once you start doing the platform game, it's awesome. And then I've started making another class on a tower defense, and that one is sweet. But let's get you through these first. Okay, so I'm going to start here. The most important thing, how many have any of you done HTML before?
I did it once on Code Avengers.
Okay. Okay.
I think I did something over at the U, but I got behind when it came to the coding, so I just kind of, we were up into teams, and I was doing some of the art.
Gotcha. Okay, so the account that I'm logged in as, real quick, is up here. There's a demo account you can go into, and I'm going to be adding basically the first lesson of a lot of different courses in this demo account. If you want to kind of learn HTML a little bit more, you could do this first lesson of Intro to Programming, and it will go over more in depth. So HTML is used in every website, everywhere you go online, there's going to be some HTML used. And so,
isn't that what pops up when you check the elements or whatever it was?
Exactly. Yep. And so this is the least amount of HTML you need to create a website. So the way HTML works is it's written in these greater than and less than tags, and they come in pairs. So you'll see this is the beginning HTML, and then at the bottom you have the one with the slash. So this one's called the opening tag, and then this one here is the closing tag. And so what HTML does is it's read top to bottom. So the browser sees, okay, they're starting HTML, and then every HTML is going to have two sections, just like a human being. You got a head, and then you got a body. So inside the head is where you feed it information, like the brain, right? You give it its title. If you're linking to any documents, you link in here. Have you guys heard of CSS before? So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and HTML is a markup language. That's what the ML means. And so HTML is making things bold. It's making things different sizes, stuff like that. And then CSS makes it easy to do colors and locations. That's a whole nother class, but just so you kind of understand, that's how websites are created. Now, also inside the head, we have these script tags. Script is representing JavaScript. So we always write our JavaScript between the script tags. Inside the body, that's what will show up in the browser. So now the only thing you really need to understand about HTML for this lesson, or for this course, is all your JavaScript will go between script tags. And then in the platform game, you're going to be writing stuff in between the body, just creating some buttons and stuff like that. So this is going to be the structure of every one of your games, and including when you start building like level 1, level 2, stuff like that. It will need HTML head. You don't have to have a title. Title's what showed up here in the browser tab, and then your script. Does anyone have questions about HTML?
Not so far.
Okay. So yeah, just remember there's an opening tag, and then that's how the computer knows that it ends. It will have a slash. And then the title opened inside of the head, and so you show that by indenting it. And so the title has to close before the head closes. So there we go. So that's just a short introduction, just so you can kind of know what you're pasting in or typing in as you're doing the course. All right, so now the workspace, this is the one where kids usually have the most trouble. And so I wanted to make sure everybody got their workspace and they know where it is. So if you have not downloaded the Game Design Workspace, let's do that now together. So this is going to be all your images, all the music, everything you need to do your game. And then if you come up with your own images and your own music, you'll know where to put it, where to save it on your computer. Okay, so if you're on a Windows computer, you need to click right here.
Yeah.
And then this, so Christian, if you want to do this right now, Nick, have you downloaded your workspace already?
I have not.
Okay, so are you on a Windows?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that together. Okay, so both of you, make sure on your screen you click on Windows instructions.
Oh, I actually already downloaded it.
Okay, you did. Now, when you download it, it comes in a zip. So on a Mac, this is what a zip file looks like. On Windows, it looks kind of like a folder with the zipper down the middle. So anytime you're transferring files to people, you have to zip them up. That's just the way that they decided computers are going to communicate with files. Does it make sense when it says what extract is?
Yeah, like with WinRAR.
WinRAR, yep, 7-zip. There's lots of different. Basically, I want to unzip this file and put it into a normal folder that's accessible. So on a Mac, if you double-click like this little zip I have, it automatically does it. But on a Windows, it's going to like take you inside the folder. I wish I was on my Windows computer. So is yours downloaded, Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you see the folder with the zipper through it?
Wait 1 second.
Okay. So
Mine looks like a stack of books.
Yeah, yours looks like a stack of books because you have WinRAR.
Yeah.
That's right. So click on the download when the file's completed. God, I should have been on my Windows. And then it's going to open up a window. Oh, not this window. You guys can't see that stuff. Okay, so it'll open up a window, and then right here where my mouse is, it should say like extract all or extract files.
Yeah, it says that.
Okay, so click on extract all.
In the Game Design Windows or Game Design?
Game Design Windows. Yours will say Game Design Windows.
So extract all.
And then it should take you to a screen that will show you where it's going to extract to, and then it will have a button called Browse that's like right here. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so click on Browse and put it on your, and then when you click on Browse, it'll let you like click Desktop at the top, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, click Desktop and then hit OK.
And then it's extract.
And then hit Extract, yep. Nick, it sounds like you've done this before, so you kind of know what you're doing.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Did yours say extract?
I haven't used this in a little while. Extract to a specified folder, right?
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
Should I make the folder first?
No, it will make it. It's zipped up with a folder. So sometimes they'll just zip up files, and then when you hit extract, it just spits the files all over your computer. But I put it in a folder, so you don't.
I see game design.
Yeah.
For my game design, it's in separate folders. Should I compact that all into one folder labeled game design, or?
So is yours like a separate fish, a Pong, and a platform? All
Yeah.
separate? I would probably do that. It'll just make things easier if you came back in a little while. I'd probably put them all in one folder.
Okay.
So the end goal of doing this is to extract all the things we're going to use and then unzip it so that you have a nice folder unzipped. And it will, when you open it, it will look like this.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm sorry if my computer freaks out. It does that every 5 years. But yeah. Just
For 5 years. Twice a decade. If you need help, we can share your screen and I can look at what you're doing.
Mine is taking a while to extract.
Yeah, it will. So, and the reason it is because in the last game, well, actually in the fish game and the other one, I think, we put background music and then sound effects, and those are kind of big files, and so.
Yeah, I listen to it when I'm just super bored when playing a video game. Just
That's funny. How close is it, Christian?
It's actually speeding up. It's almost done. It's about, it's completed. Yeah.
Okay, so it should be on your desktop now. And it goes a little slower because we're connected here.
So now I have it on there.
Okay, so now you have a game design folder that just looks like this with no zipper on it.
Yeah, it looks like a regular folder.
Perfect. Nick muted his, but Nick, are you in the same place?
It's just so that you don't have to hear me constantly hitting keys.
I know.
Because
I'm gonna try and do
my
that.
headset is somewhere around here, but I misplaced it at the moment.
Gotcha.
All right. Hoping that you spelled game design right. Here we go. Boom, please. All right.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it's
so
spelled right.
once everybody has one folder called game design, then I'm going to move on to the next lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds like Christian's good, Quinn's good. Nick, let me know.
Wait 1 sec.
And then I'll kind of show you what's going to happen.
Oh, here, I need to fix mine.
Okay, so inside of this game design folder, you have the 3 games that the course is going to teach you how to build. A Pong game, and then a fish game, which is, I don't know if you guys have ever played Agario, the agar.io.
Oh, yeah, that game's awesome.
Right. So the fish game is similar concept.
I played that one until I found a more aesthetically pleasing version of it on Steam.
Oh, really?
I think it's mitosis or something.
That's funny. So the fish game is similar to that, where you're a small fish in the sea, and then random large and small and different speed of fish are coming in, and you got to avoid the big ones and eat the small ones.
Yeah, before I put in the score thing, my fish got so big that you couldn't even see it anymore.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah. It'll just grow forever. That's what's nice when it's your own code. You can make it do whatever you want.
Okay, I've got the folder now.
Okay, so we'll have a Pong folder, and then inside the Pong, and really all of them, there'll be images and music.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, whoop, I've already started mine. Oh, I remember that game I built. And then platform. Okay, so then the other folder is called Sublime. So what Sublime is it's going to be our text editor. This thing is used around the world programmers, all the programmers I've hired and worked with, we love Sublime. Some use some other ones. There's tons of them. There's Atom. Anyway, there's a million different text editors you can use. There's a couple things I like about Sublime, and so that's what we're going to use it. Now,
I was kind of trying to get the Sublime file out on its own, so that way I don't have to scroll through all the other plugins and stuff.
okay, so in Windows, it's a lot easier. The way that you do that, so I'm on a Mac, but in the Windows, you'll find the one that says Sublime_text, and it will have like the black icon next to it. If you right-click on it, it's going to bring up an option that says Create Shortcut. So if you create a shortcut, and then you can just move it to the desktop. Next time I do this, I'll do it on my Windows computer, because that's probably what most people have. But if you create the shortcut and then move it to the desktop, then you don't have to sort through all the files.
Oh, cool, it works. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, why are all my files empty? All of my files are empty.
That's okay. When you do File Open, or if you drag them in.
Alright, yeah, it has like pong.html, and then that's completely empty, then index, and game over.
Yeah.
Oh, we may have to look at that. We'll keep going. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going on to the next one. So I'll go through the lessons now rather than just kind of rambling. Okay, so
there's my computer.
It's your computer?
Yeah, my computer's going to freak out in 5 minutes or so.
All right, well, stay with us, Quinn. Okay, so this lesson is talking about the text editor. We just wanted to make sure there was a couple hints that you guys know how to do. So if you ever are typing in it, let me bring up my text editor. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you have it open. Let's go ahead and open your text editor. So double click on Sublime. And then for the Windows people, it will be the Sublime_text with the icon. Double click on that. And then let me know when you get a nice black text editor right here.
I have a black text editor.
Perfect. Good work. All right, Nick, I'm going to assume you're with us unless you speak up, okay? All right, so...
One sec, sorry, I had to mute myself because my mother came in and was taking my bird out to the vet.
I thought I heard a bird. What kind of bird is it?
Cockatiel.
Nice. Okay, so these are a couple different things just to help you with the text editor. Let's say you're typing something in and you make a mistake, right? If you hit Control-Z, then it will undo. So if I'm in, this is the game for the tower defense.
You can all hear him, can't you? He's not even in my room anymore. That's how loud he is.
That's funny. Okay, so Control-Z, that undoes. Control-S is how you save it. If you want to look at your code, so here's code right here. If I right-click and then do Open in Browser, it will show this. That might have been a bad idea. Anyway, then it will open up the code so that you can actually see it. And there's the little tower defense game. Okay, so those are just a couple of shortcuts. And then Control-R is for the browser to refresh. We'll go over these a bunch as we're doing it. So what we need to do is we already opened up Sublime. And then step 3 right here. So with your text editor open, create a new file by clicking on File, New File. So if you go File, New File, then what you should see is a tab up here that says Untitled. Now we're going to save this. Okay, so we're going to save this. So you can either hold down Control and hit S, or you can go File, Save, and it's going to ask you where you want to save it. This is the most important part. So the place that you want to save it is on your desktop. Sorry, my desktop's a mess. Find your game design folder.
I can't even see your desktop.
Oh. And then find the Pong folder. And then you want to name it Pong. And then you have to tell it what type of file it's going to be. And so Pong.html.
I don't know. I got to print it out. Monday, that's our job. Monday. Yeah, actually, you could do like
Sorry, I had to mute you. Okay. So
we
in
have two
Pong,
Sues.
Okay, so wait.
Never not.
Pong,
Never mind.
so you have to at the end do .html. Now the computer knows what type of file it is, and then you got to make sure you're saving it inside of Pong, so it's next to your images and your music.
so what should I name it?
Pong.html.
Pong.html. Okay.
And then once you're make sure, then go ahead and hit save. And then up here it should say pong.html.
Yep.
And then if you were to check inside of game design, it shows up right next to your images and music.
Yep.
Okay.
With the little Chrome symbol.
Yeah. Okay. So that means Chrome's your default browser.
Yep.
Okay. Christian, did you get that?
I saved it as an HTML file, and it opens with my browser.
Cool. Okay. So at the top, does it say pong.html?
In the text editor?
Yeah. The tab.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got it in the, so that's, you can name it whatever you want. Just make sure you have .html at the end. But the important part is you have to make sure it's in that Pong folder next to images and music.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are doing great. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to get going with some code. So we're just going to put in some starter code. So again, this is the HTML that you already saw. And then we put a little bit in the body, and I'll go over that in the next lesson. So go ahead and highlight everything. You can either do right click and select copy, or do Control C and then come over here to pong.html and paste it in.
So is that in 1.3?
1.3 at the very bottom, step 5.
Okay. Okay, it's in.
Awesome. And now on Windows, I think it should have like a little star next to it. If you see a star next to it, that means you've added something new and haven't saved yet. Macs are a little bit different. And then when you save, that star goes away. So it's just a little indicator if you've changed anything.
I can't see a star.
Neither can I.
Oh, okay. I might be lying. I'm trying to... Did you guys already save it?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, you just, anytime you make a change, you got to make sure that you do Control S, and it will save your file. And that way, when you go to look at it in the browser, you'll have all the new updated code. Yeah. I thought I gave you a star, maybe not. All right. Okay, so if everyone has that in, then we're gonna go on to 1.4. Okay, so this is the lifeblood of JavaScript. So we're gonna talk about functions. Okay, so what a function is, this is an analogy that I thought of. I don't know if it's a great analogy or not, but function is a built-in command. So you have to type the word function to create a function. And then this word here, start, that is the name of your function. So you can put whatever you want here. You just can't use numbers, and you can't start with a number or use spaces. But what a function does is it has an opening bracket and a closing bracket, and that is the code that belongs to this function. So if you think of a function as like a house on the street, and anything inside of the house belongs to that function. Anything in the next house would be a different function. So what happens with functions is they don't do anything until it's their turn to run their code. So they just sit there and hang out and wait until something calls it by its name. So the way that you call a function by its name, I think your lesson might look different. Does yours look different than this one?
Whose?
No, never mind. No, this is right. Tell me if yours looks different. I may not have updated the demo account with some stuff I did. Anyway, so functions wait for something to call their code. So what ways that you can call functions code, they wait for like an action or like an event. They're called events. So if you mouse over, so notice when I mouse over, that thing opens up. That's me calling another function. Another way to do it, so yeah, this. So if you mouse over, when my mouse went over this text, it called a function that said, hey, turn all of this text red. Now, if you click on this, it calls a different function. And it keeps doing different things. It keeps calling new functions. So think of events as just something that a user does that makes a block of code run.
This is like most online games. If you keep on clicking it, eventually it's going to say something like, how many times are you going to keep on clicking
Yeah,
before you get bored?
that's right. Okay, so now what we want to do is when somebody loads our Pong game, we want the game to load right away. And so the way that we do that is that event is called an onload. And so remember, the browser is going to load our body tag. And inside our body tag will contain everything that we need to display to the user. So on our body tag, when we give it onload, that event equals start. And remember, start is the name of the function. So when we do onload equals start, that's telling the browser, when you load my code, run the function start. Okay, so that's kind of how functions work. Now let's do a little activity. So step one, between the existing script tags. So existing means, obviously, they're already in your code. So I want you to find these script tags here. And then it says between them. So for me, it's line 6. So between the existing script tags in your pong.html file, create a function named start. Okay, so I want you guys to do that now. So go between your script tags, and to create a function, you have to type the word function. And then you name it. Let's name it start, because that's what I'm going to call it throughout the whole lesson, but you could name it Nick, you could name it Seth, you could name it whatever you want. Oh no. Okay, we're going to have to cruise. Okay, so function, and then we'll name it start. Now, notice these parentheses right here. We'll explain those a lot more later. And then every function needs a beginning and an end. And you do that with brackets. Okay, did everyone get that far?
Yeah.
So start, and then the parentheses, then a bracket.
And a closing bracket, yep. Okay, so then number 2. So number 2 is we want to edit our existing body tag to include onload start. So look, our normal body tag doesn't have anything. So this function would never run if we loaded this page, because nothing's telling it to take its turn. So we need to add to our existing body tag onload equals, and then the name of our function, which is start. Okay, so now you need that portion in there. And then there's these hints, if you ever get stuck. And the hints, I try and bold the stuff that you need to add. And then they'll say only add the code in bold, because we already have these script tags. You don't need new ones. It's just kind of as a reference to where you put things. Okay, everyone get this far?
I think.
So wait, go to the body.
So make it look just like mine, where notice we have the less than sign there, and then the greater sign way over here, because we're adding this to the body tag. It's called giving the body tag an attribute.
Wait, am I supposed to be able to see your Sublime?
Yeah, can you not see my Sublime?
No, just the web browser.
Oh, we have John on here too. Oh, John's new. Oh, John, can you hear me?
Wait, am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, John, sorry, I didn't, how far are you? Have you downloaded your stuff?
Yeah, I'm on lesson 1.8.
Oh, okay. Okay, keep holding tight with us. We'll get there soon. Sounds good. Thanks, John. Okay. Can you not see my Sublime text, everybody?
Nope.
No.
Just your
I put in the chat.
browser.
You only see my browser.
Yep.
All right, let me see what's going on with this screen share. 1 second. I'm going to turn it off and then turn it back on. All right, what about now?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Man, I kept thinking you guys were watching this whole time. All right, so does yours look like mine?
I was slightly confused with that. I was just like, should I say something?
Yeah, you should always say something if you're confused. Okay, so does it look like mine now, Nick and Christian?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that's how the onload looks. Okay, so next lesson. Okay, so in the next lesson, this next lesson, the first part's just informative. So you may have noticed this script tag right here. What this is it has a source. SRC means source. So the source of this script tag is a library that we wrote. So this handles the harder programming, like collision detection and stuff. And so we wrote a whole bunch of functions in here, and you'll just be able to call our functions while you're learning JavaScript. And then later we have more advanced classes that shows you everything how we wrote this library. So just know you need this in here because we're going to be using some of the code that's already been pre-written. But like I said, it only handles some of the harder stuff. Now, this is how you use the library. So anytime you see an SJS, that means you're accessing the simply JS is what we call the library. And then notice these brackets. So these brackets signify that it's calling a function, and the function's name is open. Okay. And so what the open function does, if you went through and looked in our library, is it looks for a div, which is an HTML tag that just means a division, so a part of the page, that has an ID of target, and then it will use its styles. Margin auto means center it, and then background, give it a gray background. So that's what SJS actually does, is it looks for this tag here, or sjs.open. So you'll see that a lot in the lessons. You'll need to type in SJS once in a while, and anytime you do that, you know you're just accessing the library. If you're not typing in SJS, then it's JavaScript that will work anywhere, whether you have this library or not. Okay, so step one. Step one's just verify, make sure you have this link, otherwise your game won't work. You all do because we copied and pasted it in. Okay, so number two, between the brackets. Now when I say between the brackets, I'm meaning these brackets. So between the brackets of your start function, add sjs.open. Okay, so we want to go between the brackets. It's a good habit to indent, and we want to type in sjs.open.
Okay.
Okay, so I have that.
Very good. Okay, so now we're going to try and make sure that we're all on the same page and that this is what we see. So we need to save it. So hit Control-S or do File Save. And then right-click and select Open in Browser. I'm going to do Copy File Path because I don't want it to open in Chrome. And then I'm just going to paste my file path right here. So this is what you should see when you right-click and do Open in Browser.
Yep.
You got it? We got positives from everyone?
I think I might have done onload start wrong because it shows up as text.
Oh, okay, yeah. You may have put it outside of this closing bracket.
Yeah, I accidentally actually didn't put it in there. So
Yeah. So just move it in there. So what's cool about Sublime is I can just move stuff anywhere, right? I'll hit Control-Z. But yeah, so make sure it looks like that. What's that?
Since when could you do that?
Whenever
I've been missing out on so much.
Sublime's amazing. I'll tell you, you'll see more and more stuff it can do eventually. So I think, okay, is yours working now?
This seems so much easier than Game Maker already.
We'll get into some heavy stuff. You guys are gonna love it. Just stay with it. Okay, so are you good now, Christian?
yeah, I
Okay.
see the gray box now.
Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna get into the fun part. All that setup, it's kind of not as fun as what we're getting to start doing. Okay, so now I'm moving on. Now we're talking about, okay, comments real fast. So the way that coders kind of organize their code and label things is with a comment tag. So I can type like end function start. Anytime you do a double slash, what it's telling the browser is just skip this line. It's not real JavaScript. I'm just leaving notes for myself. And so you use comment tags a lot. If you go and look at somebody's code, they'll put in comment tags labeling, this is where I made the ball, this is where I made the paddle. Or they'll leave like ideas. I want to create a mega boss, and he'll type out the logic behind it. And then next time he comes back, he can just kind of remember what he wanted to do. So that's what comment tags are used for. So a double slash will do one line. The slash star will go until it sees a star slash, so you could comment out multiple lines. Okay, objects. These are cool. Okay, so again, you have a built-in JavaScript command, var. So var, and then you give your object a name. What you're creating is something that the person can see, and then you'll be able to take the name of that object and start giving it properties. How fast it can go, what it bounces off, what it doesn't bounce off, stuff like that. So you always start with the word var, then you give it a name, and then you need to set it equal to something. It has to have some initial value. So the initial value for this one is new, and then you're going to access our library, SJS image, and then you're going to tell it where an image is located so it knows what to display. All right. So inside of the Pong folder, you'll notice that you have a bunch of images. And so these are images we gave you, and you can use any one of these or go get your own. But let's go ahead and go down to the activity. And then we'll show you what images you can use. Okay, so below sjs.open. So anytime in the activity, it's first going to tell you where to put the code. So you want to be below sjs.open. Create a comment tag to label where your ball and object properties will go. So I'm trying to get you guys in a good habit of labeling your code, because in the platform game and other games, your code's going to be like 300-400 lines long, and it's nice to be able to find it pretty quick. Okay, great.
I may have lost track of what lesson this is.
I'm on 1.6.
Okay.
And then I'm on activity step 2. So we're going to create an object under the comment tag named ball and pick an image to use from your images folder. So remember, to create an object, you always start with var, and then you give it a name, and then you do equals,